अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. तेभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः. या देवी सितपङ्कजासनवरा सीनाक्षमालाकरा वीणाझङ्कृतिनष्टसर्वजडता स्मेरप्रफुल्लानना या वाक्यार्थपदप्रमाणविभवा या सर्वभाषात्मिका तां वाचाम् अधिदेवतां भगवतीं वन्दे सदा भारतीम्. Hari Om. Namo Namaha. In the last session we have seen the dialogue between Ghatotkacha and Duryodhana. And Duryodhana is trying to explain that whichever the message brought by this one Ghatotkacha from Sri Krishna, how ridiculous is this? So what he says like, aho hasyam etat, and then Ghatotkacha gets angry. Then Duryodhana says that aho hasyam etat, and then he says one verse in Anushtup Chanda, that is Devair mantrayatair sardham sakrishno jata matsaraha parthenaikena yo vetti nihatam rajamandalam. Let us see the anvaya of this. What he says, Saha Krishnaha Jatamatsaraha Devaihi Sardham Mantrayate Yaha Ekena Parthena Rajamandalam Nihatam Vetti Iti Duryodhanaha Kathayati. Let us see, just split one word and let us see the meaning. What he says, that Saha Krishnaha, when he refers to Saha, actually, he utters Saha, that Krishna, but still Duryodhana wants to convey that famous Krishna, Saha Prasiddhaha Krishna. Because even though we can find there is a negligence in his utterances, but still the hidden meaning is that he wants to convey that Krishna is very famous. And that's why he says, Saha Krishna. What he does, Devaihi Sardham Mantranam Karoti. Now Devai, like with gods, demigods, Suraihi Saha, Sardham Sakam Samam. What he does, that Mantranam Karoti, he discusses. See, Mahakavi Bhasa he has written, like at that time, all those deities, like what you can say, the demigods, they always used to mingle with this mortal man, and they used to come over here, otherwise they used to converse with us. So simply he has written Devai Sardham Saha Krishna Mantranam Karoti. Now these divine quantities must be coming over here, and Tena, due to that, as he is doing mantrana, as he discusses with those deities, Tena Saha Krishna, that Krishna, according to Duryodhana, that trivial Krishna, but hidden meaning is that famous Krishna, Jata Matsaraha. How is Matsaraha nama? Irsha, Utpannaha, Garvaha, Utpanna Irsha, Idrushaha Saha Krishna Kim Karoti, he consults with gods, okay, so he becomes proudy, Garvaha, Ahankari. So that Duryodhana says, Saha Krishna Devaihi Saha Mantranam Karoti Tena Saha Kidrushaha Ativa Ahankari Eva Jata Matsaraha Eva. And what he thinks, he means what? According to Duryodhana, that Sri Krishna, he thinks Ekena Parthena Rajamandalam Nihatam iti saha vetti. What he thinks? Ekena. ekena advitiyena. Advitiyaha. Means no, dvitiya means second. So there is no second. Only that Partha will be there. Unique Partha, unique Arjun. Only one. Arjunena. Now Partha uses Pruthayaha Putraha, Puman. So only by that Partha, Rajamandalam, Nrupasangham, Rajnyam Mandalam. What is Rajnyam Mandalam? What? All Kshatriyas, all the warriors, Nihatam, Vinashitam, okay, Vinashtam, destructed. Iti Saha, thus that Krishnaha Vetti, Vidavetti. So Duryodhana says that only Arjuna is there on this planet and he is going to kill all the warriors. And then Duryodhana says that he consults with other deities. He is so proudy and he thinks that Kshatriya Mandala, the whole Kshatriya Mandala will be destructed by this Arjuna. So in fact, Duryodhana, he was afraid of divinity of Krishna as well as prowess of Arjuna. And then back of the mind, like he must be knowing there is some mystic power around this, but still he wants to convey that he is a lord over there, and that's why he just keep on telling all these things. So whatever less vocabulary he had, he tries to express his anger, okay, or what, towards Sri Krishna. So Ghatotkacha says, it is an Anushtup Chanda, that verse is an Anushtup Chanda. He says, Hasasi tvam aham vakta preshitaschakra shravitam parkamedam ho yuktam tavaivatum. Ghatotkacha now reproaches Duryodhana. He says, Tvam, you, O you Duryodhana, you. Tvam hasasi, O Duryodhana, you are laughing. Aham Ghatotkachaha. Who am I? Aham Vakta. Now what Vakta? Aham Sandeshavahakaha. I am a messenger. I am an emissary. Okay? Sent by whom? God Sri Krishna. Chakrapanina preshitaha. Chakram panau yasya saha tena chakrapanina. Nama tena Sri Krishnena preshitaha. So aham dutaha. So I am an emissary sent by that Sri Krishna. Okay. So here the one who is having divine disc in his hand, continuously whenever he is referring to Sri Krishna, Ghatotkacha is fully in love with Sri Krishna's divinity. So like he presses him like anything, and everywhere he uses the word Chakrapani, Chakrapani. So he is showing his huge respect towards God Sri Krishna. So he said, Tena Preshita, sent by him, inspired by him, I am here. Now Partha Karma idam. Idam Arjunasya Krutyam, deeds of Arjuna, whichever the actions taken by Arjuna. Okay, Shravitam, Maya Shravitam. So being told by me to you, okay, to Duryodhana. So Aho, actually this is an exclamation. What he says? Aho etadrusham karma maya shravitam tat sandesham shrutva tvam hasasi. So he said, I have told you this message, and having heard this message, you are laughing? Okay. So actually has is taken here in like upahasa. Okay, hasa means to laugh, but it's just like a derision, just to ridicule to Duryodhana. So he says, oh my God. Then Ghatotkacha becomes very angry. And what he says? Yuktam tavayavatu. I know that. So Ghatotkacha is condemning now to Duryodhana. What he says? Yuktam, it is appropriate. What? Tava evatu, tava eva. So hidden meaning is that what? For a fool like you. So this is an appropriate thing. I am just conveying you the message from Sri Krishna, and even having heard the deeds of Arjuna, you are laughing on it. Oh my God. So you are a fool, and that's why so he says like, I don't want to utter a single word now. I know that this is an appropriate thing for a fool. So Then Ghatotkacha says, Apicha bhavata api shrotavyaha janardana sandeshaha. So apicha, furthermore, bhavata api janardana sandeshaha shrotavyaha. You also listen to the message of Janardana. Okay, Sri Krishna. Dushasana, he is there only. He is getting too much angry. Furious Dushasana says, Matavad bhoho kshatriya avamanin. So Dushasana doesn't know how to answer, but he is in so much anger. What he says? Oh, Matavad. Oh, it's not like that way. Kshatriya avamanina. So that one who insults the Kshatriyas. And he said it is difficult for him to hear the message of that cowherd. So he is Kshatriya avamanina. He is insulting all the warriors. So I don't want to listen his message. And then he utters the verse. What he says? Pruthivyam shasanam yasya dharyate sarva parthivaihi sandesha shroshate pyanyo narajnastasya sannidham. Let us read these words. Pruthivyam shasanam yasya dharyate sarva parthivaihi sandeshaha shroshate api anyaha na radnyaha tasya sannidhau. What is this? Dushasana, he prevents Ghatotkacha. He says, wait. What? Pruthivyam, Vasundarayam, on this earth. Sarva parthivaihi, sarve chate parthivaha taihi, nikhila rajabhihi, samasta bhupatibhihi, by all the kings. What? Dharyate. It's a karmani roop, passive form. Okay. So, whose orders are obeyed, okay, accepted by how? Natamastakena gruhyate. So, orders are obeyed by all the kings on this earth. Yasya radnyaha shasanam. Shasanam means order of this king. Yasya radnyaha, kaha raja saha? Saha Duryodhanaha. So, the orders of that king are obeyed, accepted by the kings of the entire earth. Anya radnyaha sandeshaha. So, Anya radnyaha sandeshaha tasya radnyaha sannidhau na sroshate api. Anya radnyaha rajabhinnaha. Means who is not a king. What he wants to convey? That Sri Krishna is not a king. So, Anya rajasaha sandeshaha vachikam, his message, tasya radnyaha sannidhau, upasthitau, in front of this king. Whenever this king is present over here, the message of that king, that person, that Sri Krishna, who is not even a king, okay, so you are not, will not be heard. So the meaning of the whole sentence is the message of any other king who is not a king will not be heard in front of that kings whose orders are obeyed, accepted by the kings of the entire earth. Dushasana, he is too much angry towards Ghatotkacha, and he is boasting his brother Duryodhana, anything that he is the greatest king among all the kings on this entire, on this planet, on this earth. And all the other kings, they obey his orders. So he is not a king. Sri Krishna is not a king. How you dare to send, or how you dare to convey his message in front of him? It's not okay for us. So, actually this is natural for evil-minded Dushasana to be proud, or as he is boasting about his brother, Duryodhana. So, Ghatotkacha, he hears and he says, Katam Dushasano Vyaharati, Are Dushasana, Araja Nama Bhavatam Chakrayudha. So, even he is Ghatotkacha, even though he is a messenger, but still, he is not that type of another messenger. Okay? So, he is from the clan of what? The demoness princess Hidimba. So, obviously, he is having genes of his mother, and what he says, Katam Dushasana Vyaharati, is this Dushasana saying? Are Dushasana, hey Dushasana, a Raja Nama Bhavatam Chakrayudha. Okay? Isn't Krishna king for you? And who is that Krishna? Chakrayudha. Chakram Ayudham Yasya Saha. Idrushaha Krishna. And do you think that he is not your king? Okay? So he says sorry. Okay? Sorry for you. Because actually he says pity on you. You don't consider him to Krishna as a king. What else I can say for you? So I don't want to convey anything, but it's okay. So in Shardula Vikriditam Vrittam he conveys or he praises the valor of Shri Krishna, or how he is appropriate to be a king. So that he says. What he says? Mukta yena yada pura nrupataya prabhrashtamanochraya yenadhyam nrupamandalasya mishato bhishmagrahastadrutam श्रीर्यस्याभिरतानि योगसुमुखी श्रीवक्षक्षय्या गृहे श्लाघ्यपार्थिवस्तव कथं राजानचक्रायुधः. Ghatotkacha replies, okay, in one line he tells everything about Shri Krishna. First he says, Mukta yena yada pura nrupataya prabhrashtamanochaya. Mukta. Mucha. It is mucha moincha. Mukta. Past passive participle. Kabudha it is. So muktim prapita. Those were set free. Yena. By whom? By Shri Krishna. Yada. Yasmin samay. So he is telling him the story. Actually, not necessary to tell them the story, but he is just giving them the reminder of those whatever the stories happened at that time. So Purvakale means previously. Nrupatayah Rajanah, kings, it's in plural. Prabhrashta, vinashta. Okay, those were oppressed. By manasya, sammanasya uchrayah, manasya vikasah, unnatayah. So those kings whose honor had been destroyed and who were in the prison of whom? Jarasandha. So they were set free by Shri Krishna. Now who is this Jarasandha? A famous story is that Jarasandha. Let me brief this. Actually this Jarasandha, he was the king of Magadha and his father was Bruhadratha, and he had two wives. Two twin princes of Kashi. So he had no children, so he was dejected, depressed, and he started doing penance. So after having performed a severe penance in front of this one, a Rushi by name Chanda Kaushika. So Rushi was pleased having seen his penance, and then he came to know that about his what is his pain, and that's why he gave him a fruit to give to his queen. Actually, that Rishi, he gave only one fruit to him. Then he came home, returned back home, and then how come he can distribute? He can give only one fruit to only one queen, because those are two. So what he did, he cut it into two pieces, and then only one fruit and two wives. So actually, king was in dilemma. We cut it into two pieces. They ate it. Okay, and then end result was that two lifeless house, okay, they got birth. So actually then king was very furious. He was so sad having seen that. So he ordered that they be cast outside his city. So those two halves were taken outside the city. But one demoness, Rakshasi, okay, she was a cannibal. She saw those pieces. She picked them and then she put them together. So as soon as when she started putting them together, a boy was formed. And then though demoness, she did not kill, as a living child was there. So she did not kill it and she returned it back to the king. So those were joined by one Rakshasi. Her name was Jara. And that's why the name of the child is Jarasandha. Okay. So Jarasandha, he was devotee of Shiva. But Jarasandha, he married both his daughters to whom? To Kamsa. Okay. And those were Asti and Prapti. So they were wives of Kamsa. Now, that time, like Kamsa, who is maternal uncle of Sri Krishna. Eventually, Kamsa was killed by Sri Krishna, and Jarasandha was angry, having seen the widow of his both the daughters. Like, he was very angry. So he attacked Mathura 18 times. That story is there. Even in Bhagavata, it is narrated very nicely. So that time, King Ugrasena and Vasudeva, Sri Krishna's father and grandfather, they both were ruling over there. Then famous story is that Sri Krishna shifted his capital to Dwaraka. So, but by the time the Jarasandha, he had many kings in his captivity. So those came, that's what he is narrating in the first line. Those were mukta, like set free by him. So he was not ready to release them. On the contrary, what he was telling, that he was not ready to accept Yudhishthira as a king, because Yudhishthira wanted to perform Rajasuya Yajna, and then he was not ready. So then one combat was played, actually in one combat where Bhima, Arjuna and Sri Krishna, all the three went over there, and Bhima defeated him and he was killed. Okay, so they all went in the disguise of a Brahmin. So that is, then Bhim tore body of Jarasandha and 2 pieces, and he threw away in the opposite direction. So accordingly, Jarasandha was killed. So after his death, all imprisoned kings were set free. So that's what Ghatotkacha is saying, that all the kings, those who were imprisoned by this one, Jarasandha, was set free by Sri Krishna only. Then second one, what he says, Enarghya Nrupamandalasya Mishato Bhishmagrahastat Dhrutam Nrupamandalasya. So when many kings were present over there, Mishataha, 2 meanings. Mishata means Pashyata as well as envy. Okay, so when all the kings were observing that particular incidents that time, Yena means what? Sri Krishnena Bhishmagra Hastat, Bhishmasya Agra Hastat, okay, from Bhishma's hand, Ardhyam Ritam Pujopaharaha Svikrutaha. Ardhyam Ritam means Praptam. So he accepted that Ardhyadana from Bhishma in front of many kings. This is a story in like when they have performed the Rajasuya Yajna, that time who will be the chief guest, and then Pandavas, like what they said, Sri Krishna will be our chief guest, and then he was offered, he was felicitated by Bhishma. So that he says, don't you think that he is a king? Okay, so then, and that is like envy of all the kings, because they were observing, and Krishna, he became chief guest over there. Then, so this Ghatotkacha is narrating this. Then, Shririyasya Bhirata Niyoga Sumukhi Shrivaksha Shayya Gruhe. Shrihi Yasya Bhirata Niyoga Sumukhi Shrivaksha Shayya Gruhe. Yasya Shri Krishnasya. Shrivaksha Shayya Gruhe. Shrivakshasya Shayya Gruham Tasmin. Shri means what? Saundaryukta. Beautiful. Okay. Vakshaha is a chest. And Shayya Gruham means Hridayam. Actually, there is a different, what you can say, the Padapata also there for this. This is in Shri Vaksha Shayya Gruham means in the heart of Shri Vishnu. But one more Patabheda also is there, that is instead of Shri Vaksha, few people they read it as a Shri Vatsa Shayya Gruhe. When it is said like Shri Vatsa, it means curl of hair on Vishnu's chest. That is also an appropriate meaning. But here in this book which I am referring to, there it is written Shri Vaksha Shayya Gruhe. So in the heart of Vishnu, Niyogena, Adeshena, due to instruction of Sumukhi Shobhanam Mukham Yasyaha Sa. Sumukhi, that is goddess of wealth, Lakshmi, Abhirata, Anurakta. So Lakshmi, is pleased by obeying Sri Krishna's orders and she finds joy in his beautiful heart, don't you think so that he is a king? Then in the fourth line, what he says, Shlaghyah parthiva parthivastava katham rajana chakrayudhaha. Shlaghyah prashamsaniyaha, that is praised. Parthiva parthivaha. Parthivanam parthivaha means king of kings, Rajaha or Rajadhirajaha. Chakrayudhaha, Chakram, Ayudham, Yasya, Saha, Chakrayudhaha, Saha, Shri Krishnaha. Tava means yours, Dushasanasya. Katham, Kena prakarena, by what reason? Na Raja, na Nrupaha. So he is not a king for you. That venerable Chakrayudha, who is the king of kings, how is he not a king for you? Ghatotkacha asking question in very angry mannerism to Dushasana. Then Duryodhana listening to their conversation. What he says? Dushasana, alam vivadena. So Duryodhana can't bear this much praise of Sri Krishna. So he says to his brother, now stop. So Dushasana, now stop arguing. Okay? Alam vivadena. So then Anushtup Chandra, what Duryodhana says? Raja va yadi va raja, bali va yadi va bali, bahunatra kimuktena, kimaha bhavatam prabhu. He says, okay, fine. Yadi Shri Krishna, Raja va, Nrupova, whether he is a king, athava araja, Raja va yadi va araja, whether he is a king or he may not be a king, fine. Next sentence he says, so it is this araja, it's sort of like arajan raja, iti araja. This is called as, he is not a king, it is a sort of naya tatpurush samas. And then he says baliva, whether balavan, okay, whether he is a strong or abali. Nirbalo vasyat, he may be weak. So whether he is a strong or he may be a weak, whether he is a king or he is not a king. Bahuna atra ki muktena asmin vishe kathanena kim prayojanam. So he says, okay, fine. So what is the need of saying all these things? Bahuna. Okay, atra kim muktena. So atra means asmina vishay. And what should kathat kim prayojanam? What is the purpose now? Okay, so fine. So I am least bothered about all these things because he wants to stop the argument between Ghatotkacha and Dushasana. I said, okay, fine. Now, I am not interested in your discussion. Now tell me, Kim aha bhavatam prabhu? Kim aha? Kim aha vadati? Bhavatam, yushmakam, but here specifically mentions for Ghatotkacha, prabhu. So your master, okay? So what did your master say? Let me tell. So please tell me, or whatever it is. So what did your master say? He says. Then Ghatotkacha, Atakim. Okay, what else? Like Ghatotkacha is like in a hurry, he wants to convey and then very excited. So Atakim. Prabhureva Trailokyanato Bhagwan Chakrayudo Visheshato Asmakam Prabhu. So Prabhu eva Trailokyanato. Okay, this God Sri Krishna is Prabhu eva Trailokyanato, is the master of all three worlds. Bhagavan Chakrayudha, he is Bhagavan. He is holding that divine disc in his hand. Visheshataha Asmakam Prabhu. And in particular, he is the master of us. So he feels very proud feeling about Krishna, that he is our master and I am here to convey his message to you. So with that feeling he utters, he narrates that message. Apicha, it's not that much, even more, something I have to convey. And in Malini Vrittam he says, Avasitam avagacha अवसितमवगच्छ क्षत्रियाणां विनाशं नृपशतविनिचित्या लाघवं चास्तु भूमेः न हि तनयविनाशात् उद्यतोग्रास्त्रमुक्तैः समरशिरसि कश्चित् फाल्गुनस्यातिभारः. Ghatotkacha is now explaining about Arjuna. Now what he says, idanim, now, at this moment. Avasitam avagaccha kshatriyanam vinashaha. Kshatriyanam vinashaha avasitam avagaccha. What? Avagaccha, tvam janihi. Now you understand. What? Kshatriyanam means nrupanam, of all the kshatriyas. Nidhanam, vinasham, nihananam. Okay? Avasitam, samapta, settled, fixed. So the first line only, it comes in danger, sort of like what he says. Now understand that the Kshatriyas have been destroyed. Okay? Because he wants to convey the valor of Arjuna to Duryodhana, Dushasana. So he says, first thing is that now all Kshatriyas, their destruction is definite. Okay? It is fixed now. Nrupashata. Now here, basically he wants to convey that 100 kings or Duryodhana etc. 100 Kauravas. So Nrupashata, 100. So he speaks about like 100, either maybe Kaurava or maybe other kings, including all. Vinichitihi. Vinichitihi means ekatram avasthapanam. Means like, it's piled up together. Okay, in bracket these are like dead bodies piled up together. Laghavam, lightened. We are just taking one word, Laghavam. Bhumehe prithivyaha astu bhavatu, let it be. What he wants to convey? The weight of the earth, okay, will be lightened if the dead bodies of Duryodhana etc., all these 100 kings are piled together. Okay. So what he wants to show, that Arjuna is definitely going to kill you all, not you all the kings as well as all 100 Kauravas, and their dead bodies will be piled up together, and then the weight on the earth will be lightened. So that is directly the second line, that message he conveys. Nahi tanaya vinashat udyato grastra muktaihi. Tanayah, his putra. Who is that? Abhimanyu. Tanayasya vinashaha, destruction of his son. Udyato grastra muktaihi. Udyatah, ugrastra, astra. Ugra astra, that we say. So, Udyatani, Ugrani, Astrani, Tesham Muktani Taihi. We'll see one word. What it says? Udyatani, Gruhitani, rest. What? Ugrani, Bhishanani, fearful, dreadful. What? Astrani. So weapons. Tesham. Tesham is there, of those astras. Muktani means prahara, attack. Okay. So he has raised this fearful, dreadful weapons. Okay. So Samara Shirasi, Ranagre, on the battlefield. Samara means Ranangana, Shirasi means on it. So actually on the top of the something he wants to convey. And on the battlefield, Falgunasya, that is of Arjuna, is Indra's son. So it is Falguna. Kashit kopi atibharahana, no big task for him now. After having done all these things, so what he says, that it will not be a big task for Arjuna in the battlefield with the blows of dreadful weapons raised from the killing of his son Abhimanyu. So that anger which is there in his mind, and due to that he is going to raise these dreadful weapons, and that's why now all the Kshatriyas on this planet, they will be destroyed. And what is? The weight on the earth will be lightened if the dead bodies of Duryodhana etc., all these 100 Kauravas, okay, they are piled up. So that is the message. Now, just listen when someone dares to convey this type of message or utter this type of sentences in front of enemies, like all those dreadful enemies. So like what a type of daring it need over there. So he says, oh my God. Then Shakuni says, he he enters inside and he wants to convey something. He say, Yadi sadvakyamatrena nirjiteyam vasundara vakye vakye yadi bhavet sarvakshatravadhakrutaha. He passes the sarcastic remark. What he says, if yadi vakyamatrena, kathana matrena eva, just by mere utterance, just by saying, this Vasundara, this Ati Vistirna Vasundara, this huge the earth, Nirjita, conquered. Sat means Bhavet. Okay. So if this earth is conquered just by mere utterance of the word, then Vakye Vakye Sarvakshetra Vadaha Bhavet. So it's just in a matter of words, all the Kshatriyas are killed. So Shakuni actually he just enters and he passes the sarcastic remark like this way, and then surely what he actually wants to convey, what you are saying na, there is no burden. Definitely there will not burden for whom? For Arjuna, because automatically just by your mere utterance, if everything is going to happen, this Prithvi, this earth, okay, will be Nikshatriya by Arjuna, then just by utterance only, all the kings will be, there will be the destruction of all the kings. So that's why Shakuni says, Ghatotkacha, he listens and he says, Shakuni Resha Vyaharati, Bhoho Shakuni. So is this Shakuni speaking? Shakuni Resha, Shakuni hi Esha Vyaharati. Okay, is this Shakuni speaking? Bho Shakune, oh Shakune. So then, like it is just, just sort of hatred, negligence. People are not giving respect to Shakuni. Like that way he says, Bho Shakune. And it's in Vasanta Tilaka Vrittam what he says. Akshan vimuchya Shakune kurubana yogya mashtapadam samarakarmani yukta rupam nahyatra dara haranam nacharajya tantram प्राणापणोत्र रतिरुग्र बलैश्य बाणैः अक्षान् विमुञ्च शकुने कुरु बाण योग्यम्. इट्स इन वसंत तिलका. अक्षान् विमुञ्च शकुने कुरु बाण योग्य मष्टापदं समरकर्मणि युक्त रूपं न ह्यत्र दारहरणं न च राज्यतन्त्रं प्राणापणोत्र रतिरुग्र बलैश्य बाणैः. Ghatotkacha stops Shakuni and he says, Bho Shakuni, O Shakuni, Akshan Vimuncha. Aksha, Dyutopayogini Pashan. Okay, Dyutopayogina Pashan Parityajya. So you leave the shackles of gambling. Yeah, Shakuni is famous as he is a gambler. So you just keep aside all the shackles of gambling. Samara Karmani. Now this is a war, actual war. Okay, Yuddha Vyapare. Yukta Rupam. Appropriate for arrows. What you have to do? Ashtapadam Kuru. So Ashtapadam, is the Ashta Koshtaka Yuktam. Duta Krida. It's an 8-fold playing board used in Duta Krida. So he says you are a gambler. So how you have to keep this Ashtapadam ready for what? Appropriate for arrows. So then actually it should be fit for war and fit for arrows. Both the things he says. Atra means here, Yuddha Bhumau, on this battlefield. Nacha Dara Haranam. Dharanam Haranam Nasti. What he gives the reference of what? Draupadi Haranam. Dara. Dara means women. So Dara, there is no kidnapping of what he is indicating towards Vastra Haranam. So Dara Haranam Nasti. Nacha Rajya Tantram. You are not kidnapping any state by deceit. Like what you say, here there is no kidnapping of a woman or no kidnapping of the state by deceit. Okay. So you are very shrewd person. So listen carefully. Atra means again here on this battlefield. Yuddha Bhumau. Pranaha Panaha. Lives of warriors. Okay. Those are panaha, means life itself is a nose. Panaha. Ugra balaihi banaihi. Okay, by sharp arrows. Okay. The ratihi ananda bhutihi. So by sharp arrows, the happiness is due to that sharp arrows, not by this your shackles of your gambling. Nothing doing over there. So here you have to keep your this ashtapada ready forward for arrows. Okay, and fit for summer, fit for this what you can say, fit for war. Samara means yuddha. So Duryodhana could not bear the insult of his maternal uncle. He was very angry. He angry. Boho boho prakrutim gataha. So he stops. Like you can find it out. All those like people who are of cunning nature, who are skilled in plotting all the conspiracies. They are just standing over there gossiping. In front of that, somebody from the camp of their enemy is standing in front of them, and they are just talking like this way. So he says they are just like conversing in between them, and it is not a very soulful conversation. So what he says, boho boho prakrutim gataha. So Duryodhana, oh, you went to your demon nature. He says, like, it's like simple what you can say, the sentence written by Mahakavi Bhasa. Then in Malini Vrutam he say, Kshipasi vadasi ruksham Langayitva pramanam nachaganayasi kinchit vyaharan dirghastaha yadu khalu tava darpo matrupakshogra rupo vayamapi khalu raudra rakshasokra svabhavaha. Duryodhana, like he rebukes Ghatotkacha. What he says? Pramanam langayitva tvam kshipasi ruksham vadasi. Pramanam, the limits, langayitva, crossing the limits, you are violating the dignity, and kshipasi, nindam karoti, you are condemning us, ruksham vadasi, you are speaking very harsh words, katoram vadasi. So you are condemning us, speaking harsh words and violating dignity. In fact, you are a tribal that he wants to convey. And you don't know the ethical manners of civilized people. Dirghastaha. So he may be a very heighted person, whatever, but accordingly he says, Dirghau vishalau hastau yasya saha. You are with huge arms. Kinchit vyaharan nacha ganayasi. So anything, jalpam. Okay, so while arguing, nacha ganayasi, what should be uttered, vacham avacham. So what should be uttered, what should not be uttered, okay, you don't think it also. And so while uttering, I feel like you are a tribal. If you are, okay, yadi khalu tava darpo matru pakshagra rupo. Khalu means indeed, nishayena, matru pakshogra ugra rupaha. Your mother Hidimba, okay, she is not simple, na? She is a demoness. So you have that darpa, you are that proud feeling for that she is Rakshasa Kulotpanna demoness. So if you have pride in it, then Vayam api raudraha rakshasogra svabhavaha. We too are demons, okay, as fierce as unknowingly Duryodhana, he speaks the truth that their nature is just like the characters of demons only. So they are themselves are demons. Rakshasanam eva ugraha uddhataha svabhavi. So actually Duryodhana, he is conveying to Ghatotkacha that vinayena vartasva, behave modestly, iti bhavaha. So with this, like what he says, he wants to convey to Ghatotkacha. So it's very interesting conversation between Ghatotkacha and Duryodhana. So here we will stop. Whatever the rest of the things we'll see in the next session. Next session will be the last session. So I have tried my level best. If there are any what you can say, the problems in uttering in the verses or in my explanation, I really you all please forgive me for that. And if you have any query or any doubt, so please write to us. So we'll try to solve it in the next session. So here we will stop. So let us conclude. Om Purnamadah Purnamadam Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.